Hello, welcome back to Rookie Season. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy, aka The Rookie. Stephen Lloyd, he's here as ever.
What's going on, bud?
We're coming up, we've got a lot to get through. We've got Max joining us later from the Manchester Storm commentary team. He's a Vancouver fan as well, long-suffering Vancouver fan. So we'll be talking about the match later. This week, though, how are you? Good week?
I'm great, man.
Yeah.
Team Tank. Let's go.
Let's
go.
Well, I've got a little story. I attended the All Time Low concert on Friday.
Oh, did you go?
I did, and I wore my Arizona Coyotes.
Oh, did you?
So I was like, I'm going to be the hockey fan in the wild here.
Okay.
So I had them met again. I got there just in time because May Day Parade was supporting. Managed to see them. Just got there in time. So I thought, right, I've not had a chance to eat yet. I'll go out. Went and got this dried fucking chicken burger I'd been under a heat lamp and a Pepsi, paid about 18 quid for it, but that's not for here. Anyway,
part of the experience.
Yeah, so I was just stood near the merch stand on my. I thought I'll stand here on my own, with my shirt, with my jersey on, reel them in, lay the bait. So and then I got talking to this lovely couple, Adam and Amanda. If you're listening, I mentioned the podcast, plugged it. They talked about 20 minutes. They're a big. They're from Sheffield, big Steelers fans, big Penguins fans. They've been over to see, they've seen Sid in the flesh. He's been over a few times. So I've got a 100% positive record now.
Awesome.
This was my first time someone's actually spoke hocky with someone outside of this podcast. But yeah, it was great.
How did they get speaking to you?
I just had my jersey on. I was Amanda who said, I just heard the word Arizona. I was like, here we go. Got him.
Yeah.
Reel him in. But thank you very much for if you are listening, Adam and Amanda. I think she said he's more the podcast
kind
listener.
of guy.
Yeah. But yeah, they're a really, really lovely couple. Long-term fans as well. And another guy in the toilets as well. I was washing my hands. He was like, oh, we got a hockey fan here. And I was like, are you, mate? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, no, I'm a Blackhawks fan. I was like, oh, yeah. But that was very brief. That was the conversation. So 100% record.
Was it hockey or arse jockey? What did he say? Because he was in the toilets. He was speaking to you.
We're at the sink, not at the urinals.
Okay.
Very, very clear about that.
Arse jockey.
Yeah. But yeah, really good, really good. There seems to be that crossover, don't they? Like fans who like that kind of music and hockey.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I'll wear it.
That was good thinking.
Yeah.
That was actually genius level thinking, actually. Yeah, good thinking.
So if you've got any kind of social anxiety, get into hockey, wear a jersey. Nice people will talk to you. Yeah. But maybe that's the problem.
Might be a positive.
I was going to say, if you've got social anxiety, that's probably the last thing you want, isn't it? What am I on about? But other than that,
how have your Boston Bruins been going this week?
Oh, what a ride. Where were we last? So where were we up to last week? So we've played. We were just before the Dallas game where we got absolutely humbled. It was,
what score was that?
6-2, and to be honest, those two goals were a bit of a consolation.
Yeah,
but yeah, they it's a really exciting kind of time in that bit of the table, the standings. Obviously, we've got Montreal were just in that last playoff spot. Buffalo and Boston were kind of fighting for the 2 wild cards, and they're all very close in points. I think as it stands now, I think Montreal are in the top wild card spot. Buffalo are 1 point ahead in the third playoff spot, and Boston are 1 point behind in the second wild card. So and Boston were playing Toronto since then. Not Boston. Buffalo have played Toronto since then, who are the team below. I think there's a bit of a gap there anyway. But obviously,
we're in Toronto. They still
Toronto for the wild card slot. I don't know where they are in their actual division.
Yeah.
They're sort of hovering around that wild card spot, but they are a few points behind.
They're in your division, right?
You tell me, mate.
Yeah, they're in. Yeah, they're in your division.
But obviously, I think they're quite far from the actual wild card.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
But yeah, so absolute humbling at Dallas after the great winning streak. But Dallas are Dallas. And they think their past 10 games before that, they'd had a bit of they'd come off the boil a bit. I think they were, I'm not sure what the actual record was, but they weren't firing all cylinders. But Jason Robertson, he just took them to
I was going to ask you if he lit the lamp in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Then because this was like coming off the back of this winning streak. Since I've started watching, I've just been on this winning streak. And then watching that, I was like, "Oh shit! I forgot your favourite team loses sometimes." And just that horrible feeling came back. You know, like, oh, for fuck's sake! But yeah, the Knights game as
we
well.
We both watched that, didn't we?
Yeah. There's a few things I'd only seen for the first time there. The double minor, I'd never seen that before. Obviously, they really took advantage of that. I think they've got like the fourth power play in the league now.
Right.
It's like they seem to do really well on that front. It was like two goals within that double minor. They scored pretty much straight after it as well. So there were three goals up. So I thought, here we go, and then they added a fourth, I think, in the second period. And then they just think, wow, we'll make it interesting now. Let's ship 3 goals away. So like, they're exciting to watch. Like I really fucking love this team now. I'm hooked. I'm all in. Have you seen the Montreal game? Have you not seen it yet?
You can tell me. So I watched the first period. Yeah. It definitely looked like it was going to be a good game. Yeah. But I'm probably, no matter what the result is, I'm probably still going to go and watch it when I get home.
Yeah,
after this.
Definitely. It was another kind of exciting.
So you can talk me through it.
Boston won.
Okay.
Boston won 4-3.
Okay.
Again, it was. I can't remember the order off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure the only time in the game where Boston was ahead was that final fourth goal.
Right.
Montreal equalised, 2-1 equalised. And it just looked like it's just going to be one of them where... And it was such an important game standing-wise because Montreal were in that third playoff spot. Obviously, I think Buffalo have overtaken us. Buffalo beat the Islanders last night 5-0. So I think they're the hot team at the moment. So like, if we can just... That third playoff spot is the aim, I think. What's that phrase? If you want to reach the sky, shoot for the moon or something like that. If you aim for that, and then obviously, if you don't quite make it, you kind of got the safety net of the wild cards. But yeah, it's very tight.
The position you're in right now, you need the teams within your division to lose games.
Exactly,
you need to beat them in those games. And realistically, if you're going to drop games, it needs to be to West Coast teams. The ones that you're not going to see
It's a whole new kind of experience now, having a team to follow. Because it's not just watching Boston games. It's watching like the Sabres results or the Habs results and like, it all matters now. I don't know if I like it. I think I miss when I could just enjoy it. But yeah. Like I was watching the Montreal game this morning, and I was just like, oh, that horrible singy feeling when you just concede.
You're already getting that.
You get that frustrated. What the fuck have you let that in? Like I could do any better. Do you know what I mean? But weird goal. I think it was a Bruins. I don't know if it was a Bruins third or fourth. Yeah, you've not seen it yet. So yeah, he slaps in. I can't remember who it was. It'd gone in the net and kind of. Do you know they have that little box at the back of the net? I don't know if it houses a camera or something.
Yeah, I think it was a camera.
It kind of gone right on the back of the net and tucked in there, and the ref, because it was so quick, the ref hadn't seen it. He thought it'd gone off the glass. So like the players celebrating, and the ref's like, "What do you mean it's gone off the glass?" So like they're looking around the net trying to find the puck, and he's like, "It's in there, look." So they had to go like, "All right, yeah, fair enough, goal." Like that's weird. It's weird how you can be something new every week.
Yeah, it was an interesting game because even in the first, like Boston thought they'd scored because the was it Montreal? Because the horn went.
I think it was Boston had hit the post.
Yeah,
hit the post.
But the thought it was in because everyone cheered. But it came back out. And
that was literally right at the end of the period, I think it was.
Yeah, how many fights were there? Because I saw the one in the first.
Do you know what it is? I watched the whole of the first, and obviously we got up this morning, so it was about 1 in the morning, half 1 in the morning when I finished. So I've only seen the condensed highlights for the second and third. So obviously they never showed the fights on that. But so I'm going to watch the whole thing again, but it felt like obviously it is a historical rivalry anyway. And I think the commentator said this season has felt like it's a proper rivalry again.
Yeah.
Because they're competing for something. They are kind of on a similar level at the moment. I think Montreal are probably slightly better, if I'm honest. But I suppose...
Slightly.
If I know, like, you have this history. I think, Max mentions it in the who we're speaking to in a minute. He said, like, historical rivalries, maybe they're a bit overhyped by the media. With this one, especially if, one team is going flying high, playoff contention, Stanley Cup contention, and the other is kind of mid-average. There's not really that kind of intensity because it doesn't really matter. Fair enough. You might beat your rivals, but okay, then we're still fucking miles off.
When one of them's 7th in the division and the other one's first.
But I think at the moment, so I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. But it'll tank soon.
No.
I'll grow old.
You've joined at such an exciting period, and especially the team that you've chosen. Like a lot of I don't know about on TikTok, but a lot of the feedback we've got from you declaring that you're a Boston Bruin has been positive.
Not really.
A lot of it's been positive.
I think it's about 50-50.
I'd say 70-30, man.
Really,
there's
someone put on TikTok, that's just as bad as being a Leafs fan.
You might as well go support the Leafs.
I was like, fucking hell, mate, why'd you get so upset over it? Like, you're not from Boston, or you're not from Montreal, or whoever you support, and I'm not. Like, does it fucking matter that much?
Opinions are like arseholes, everyone's got one. But, there was some guy who commented, like, boo.
That's funny. But
it's quite tame.
Yeah, nice.
I think you've done a good job at picking, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're in an exciting...
It's exciting times. But we're going to talk Vancouver because with Max, aren't we? That's very exciting. If you maybe not, I don't know whether you'd call it exciting. Like, things are changing.
It was a good game. It was
a
good game. And I think that the hurting at the minute, because look, I am Team Tank.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt as much as it did at the beginning of the season, losing these games. But what they showed was a lot of heart. And if you're going to watch the game, if you're going to, dedicate the time out of your day to go and watch the game, that's at the very least that you want to see.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Anyway, should we get Max on? We've got a lot to get through. So here's Max, a commentator from the Manchester Storm. Here he is, Max from the Manchester Storm. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, lads. How are you guys?
Good,
doing great,
good,
man.
Yeah.
Doing great.
How are you two Vancouver fans doing?
Well, we're going to get into it with the game, but
we are, yeah.
The less spoke about it, the better.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, that's what you're here for. But before we get to Vancouver, we'll postpone your misery for a bit. You are the commentator at the Manchester Storm, right? So you do all their TV casts and webcasts. They are. How long have you been doing that?
So I did 5 games. What was the season? It would have been 22-23. Yeah, 22-23. I did 5 games covering the guy who did it previous to me,
right?
John O'Bullard. He was doing Manchester and Nottingham.
Okay, and the Nottingham Panthers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Conflict of interest there. Wow.
Well, that was kind of the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
And kind of how I got my foot in the door, so to speak. Jono is so Nottingham Panthers. He bleeds black and gold, and
right. Okay.
And fair play to him. He started a podcast himself called The Cat's Whiskers, which is still going now.
Okay.
And they're a great listen to, even if it's just like casual elite league fans. Like, just listen in, especially if your team.
Like us, yeah.
Yeah, if your team's playing Nottingham or been playing Nottingham, definitely give them a listen because they're insightful and they're very, very knowledgeable and they're very fun to listen to.
Nice.
So yeah, I did 5 games covering for him, and then the season after that, which would have been 23-24, I did the full season, 33 home games, 3 or 4 preseason games, and then not looked back since. I've got a complete 100% record. I've been at every single home game.
What's your background then? Are you from like broadcasting or stuff like that? No,
not at all.
Did you just fall into it?
A little bit, yeah. So I've wanted to give it a go for a long time, and because I played for so long, I started playing when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
So I've been around the game and the sport for a while, and I always thought I'd be the colour guy, the second guy on the on the broadcast, being like, oh, why did that happen? Why did this happen? What's the player's mentality here?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of relate to actually playing the game.
Well, that makes it, if you've played it, obviously that's quite a good insight for that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I thought I'd be. So I saw a post on social media for the Nottingham Lions, who are National League 1 North. And they play out of the same arena as the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was local to me. I live in Nottingham, so they were looking for volunteers, and one of the roles was commentator. So I thought, well, this is my step in the door. I can do it for fun. I can see if I like it for one, and do it as a volunteer role. And I did that for about a season and a half, and then through that, that's where I got my opportunity to do cover at the Storm. And yeah, so it was really just a passion project, and just loving doing it. And like I say, thought I was going to be the color guy, and then ended up being the play-by-play guy. And listening to a lot of
you run with it.
Yeah.
Good.
So has it been a one-man booth since you've been with the Storm?
No. During my first season, about halfway through, a young lad called Matty joined me. I was a little bit apprehensive at first. I was a bit like, "Oh, who's this new guy? They just bringing in somebody to take my spot," and that wasn't the case at all. We still have a great friendship. He's not with me currently for the rest of this season. He was a student at the time, so his availability was a lot more open, and he could be at every game, and he could do the stuff that I couldn't do, like video interviews in the week and stuff. Just so I don't have the availability to travel to Manchester with work, etc.
Just at the drop of the hat.
Exactly. Just to do like a 10-15 minute interview and come back again.
That's good though, because I think that's where these clubs have to go, isn't it? You have to do the social media content now. You have to put out. It can't literally just be.
It's a full-time job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and they've got full-time people for that, and they do a fantastic job with what they've got to use, and they're very knowledgeable of social media. I'm very archaic in that sense.
Yeah, we are learning that, aren't we? Like, it's a whole like new world. Like, oh my god, I actually have to talk about myself and promote myself, and it's just like, oh, it just makes me cringe. But you get used to it, don't you? I think you just get over it. And
I think 16 episodes in, we're definitely
we're 17 now.
I mean, how many games have you covered? Have you kept count of that?
So I've got I don't know if I've got it now. I've got a flash drive, external hard drive. I've got every single game log sheet that I've ever done, and I've done this would be my third season, so 33 home games. So I'm ticking over nearly 100 games. At the elite league level. If you take into consideration the fact that I did my own live stream for my recreational hockey team, we're looking in the 200s. If you include the Nottingham Lions, like maybe 250.
Right. Okay.
And that's the first time I've actually gone back
under your belt. Then,
there's a few hours of me speaking online somewhere. And someone wants to make an AI copy of me
for the archivist.
It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my voice is out there.
Good stuff. We'll speak about the Storm in general now. Now, obviously, as you've got an official position with now, that there's certain things you probably can't divulge, or we talk about the Storm a bit. Like, I feel like they're quite. Obviously, we're both Storm fans, both from Manchester. I feel like they are a bit of a sleeping giant in that a city like Manchester, if they got the kind of right facilities, they'd break into that. There's that top four, isn't it? The arena teams. I feel like, what do you feel like they need to do to kind of just break into that top four?
I think they're doing it. They're playing. They're playing exciting hockey. Last season wasn't great. It was a full blip, and with a team that was building the 2 seasons previous to that, with the head coach of Matt Ginn, who was a former player for the Storm, there was this whole exciting energy around them, and then last season the coach wasn't right. I think the Storm will admit that. He ended up leaving just after Christmas, I think it was. And then they saw the season out, and now Critchlow's taken over that same energy from the Matt Ginn. I don't want to say era, but moment. When he was in charge, that seems to be back, and that excitement's there. As for bringing
he does, because obviously the coach before this was before I even kind of watched ice hockey at all. The Critchlow, he seems to be a very popular figure. Like, I think the fans are really taken to him.
His jerseys are all over the area.
Exactly. Is he a former player as well? And is he as charismatic in person? I'm guessing you get to speak to him a fair bit, or
I get to do the post-game interviews with him. And there's a bit of chatter off camera as well before we hit record on those post-game. post-game interviews. I'm just going to quickly have a look on Elite Prospects, if I can bring it up, to try and find out how long Critcho's been there. I think he's been there for like nearly 5 years, 6 years, and 3 or 4 of those he was the captain. I don't have the numbers to hand, so
What's Elite Prospects? Is that?
So that is my database. That is
Okay.
a commentator or a statistician's dream. It's
Right.
got
the
every
commentator's Bible.
It's got every player's stats, every where they were born, who drafted them,
Right,
how old they are, what teams they've played for, how many games, anything they've won, everything.
Great.
Cam's Canadian, right?
He is, yeah. Yeah, he's Canadian.
So
he did have dual citizenship, and that's why he was able to play for GB.
Okay, so he played for Great Britain, right? Okay, because my question was going to be, for a Canadian player playing in the EIHL, having 5 years at one team, is that quite a feat?
It's I don't want to say it's an irregularity, but it doesn't happen that often. For an import player to come over and have an impact and stick around with the team, it's he's in the minority of all things, if I'm being quite honest. But that just speaks to how much of a loved player that he was, and how much the team did for him, and he wanted to stick around in that situation and be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So I feel like the problem is that I feel like the problem with the Elite League is that a lot of players use it as a stepping stone to a better league. Maybe they drop out of the ECHL, or they've played a year in Germany or Austria or somewhere else. They play in the Elite League, and then they get eyes back. They get eyes back on them in North America, back where they want to be, in an ECHL team or an AHL team, and they get that shot again to go through the ranks and get called up potentially into the.
I can't really blame them for it. I think what you need to do to counter that is you make the league, you raise the standard of the league, and then it becomes a place where people want to play. Not that they don't want to play now, but you know what I mean. Like it becomes less of a stepping stone and more of a I'm quite happy with what I've achieved to making it to this level.
Sorry, I was just going to say, have you got any kind of wants that the IHL could implement to make it, explode even more?
Yeah. So we're not just talking about the Storm; we're talking about the league in general. Yeah.
I don't know. There's been talks of expansion, and the more the talks go on, the more I'm like, is it really going to happen? But then, if you add 3 teams, what difference does that make? If you add 5 teams, what difference does that make? Are you just ending up diluting the pool of talent across a larger? There's pros and cons to all of it, and
would that be brand new teams, or do you think they'll just incorporate teams from the NAHL and just bump them up to the EIHL?
So there's many different ways to go about it. I think the best way to go about it is bringing in new teams with new rinks that can hold a significant amount of fans, 2,000 as a base and higher. Teams like Leeds and Telford have been talked about in the past. But the size of the rink doesn't pertain to being a top team in the Elite League.
No.
I think the Elite League wants to bring in teams that are competitive, like from the jump, and they obviously need to be sustainable. They can't just be a flash in the pan. Like a couple of years ago, we had Milton Keynes and Guildford join the league. Guildford have stuck around. Milton Keynes, through unfortunate situations with the ownership, dropped back down to the national league level. They couldn't.
Okay. So they have tried this before then. So there is precedent for it. So I suppose you can learn from the past mistake. Is checking whether their ownership is.
You've got to get the right people in the right places. And they've got to. But trying to bump teams up like Peterborough or. Like you couldn't have 2 Sheffield teams, so the Steel Dogs are going to stay down there.
Could you not? Is that not
are they part
nice
of
little
the Steelers?
Man-made rivalry, pre-made rivalry?
Yeah,
if they're affiliated,
they're the same colours.
Fair enough.
I'm just thinking of like size of the arenas. The Steel Dogs play out of don't play out the same place as the Steelers. They play out of Ice Sheffield. It's a much smaller, more intimate venue.
Right.
For ice hockey is a great place to play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that they'll never. There's no point in them moving up. Firstly, because they're a feeder system for the Steelers. But if they're going to have to, if they're going to be, if teams are going to stick around, they're going to need to be in a venue that can hold 2,000 to 3,000.
That seems to be the common problem, doesn't it? There is not a lot of rinks in general, like for any kind of level. It's hard to address one problem without solving the other first, and then vice versa. So you're kind of caught in a bit of a cycle. We need more rings, but we don't have the interest, but we don't have the interest because we don't have more rinks. So
I mean, Liverpool, London, these all seem like cities that'd be a shoo-in for
Birmingham as well. I know we have Coventry, but they are right on the outskirts. Like we don't have a Birmingham team, and that second biggest city in England.
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah.
Is there a market there? Like possibly?
I think there is. There's teams playing out of Solihull, which is close to Birmingham, but again, the size, just the dimensions of the ice are so different. They don't even have glass in Peterborough. Sorry, not Peterborough. In Solihull, they have nets that go around the boards.
Oh God, yeah.
So
you're taking your life in your hands there, aren't you?
Well,
sign a waiver.
It makes for an interesting game series. I played there last week. Yeah, last week now. And I like playing in Solihull. It's an interesting rink to play in. Compared to normal places.
Well, I think the expansion though, it's just, I think you mentioned it a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about it, like it's just a few new teams to play. It's just a few new fixtures, isn't it? For like I know it's what is it, a 10-team league?
10-team league,
yeah. So you do, not that you dislike playing though, it's the Sheffield Steelers again, because for example, it's always going to be a good game against these clubs, but like if some new faces, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Like just something different.
Yeah,
but like I said,
as long as they're not finishing last every season.
That's the thing. That's the risk, isn't it? Yeah. Is that what happened to Milton Keynes? Then I'm guessing.
I would assume so.
I don't think they were dead last, but they again, they're around the bottom of the team. And again, if you bring a team like Leeds up, they're going to be scrapping mid-table to bottom end of the table. And now they're flying high in the National League, where they're competing for league titles, cups, playoffs. So what incentive is there for their ownership to move up a league? Yeah.
Well, I proposed this a couple of weeks ago. We had a little discussion. I think you might have commented or something about if you could change a rule in hockey.
Yeah.
Now, I said, would a promotion and relegation system, not in the NHL, because obviously I can see why that wouldn't work, but over here, do you think that could work? Would that be beneficial? Because obviously, if you do, we'll take Leeds for example. If they're doing so well in that the National League, they get promoted, and maybe they don't survive. They're not very good. At least then they've got that safety net of okay, we're going to go back down again at a level. We know our level.
Yeah.
Or could it just be one of them where they end up free falling?
I agree with you on that,
you see it in football a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Like if a team gets relegated from the Premier League, it seems quite common now that because of the finances, they just keep to free fall, and then it takes years before they're back up again.
I think that's the key word: finances. Like to be able to compete at the elite league level, it's such a jump in price and money. From talent from the National League. So the National League they don't have the same rules on imports. Like the import limit in the Elite League is 14 on a roster, on a game day roster.
That's players from outside the UK.
Yes, correct. So they could be anywhere that's not the UK. So any European, any North American, etc., counts as an import player, and you're allowed 14 on a game day roster. In the National League, I think it's 3. I think that's that.
Oh right, okay.
I think that's their limit.
So they are quite strict about that. Yeah.
And the British talent that's down there is very good. But because they're playing at that level, they don't get looked at that often by coaches to come up. Like the Storm.
And I suppose if they did get promoted, all of a sudden it's a big rule change, isn't it? You're not going to okay, we've got another 11 slots we can fill with imports. Go and get them all in.
Exactly.
And then it's the players who have helped them get to that point, I don't need you anymore. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then obviously the other way around, if they get relegated, well, off you go. We've got to get the British guys. I suppose it would just cause too much admin chaos.
It is, yes, it's admin chaos. It's all sorts.
Yeah.
There are leagues in Europe where promotion and relegation in ice hockey does work. Like the French league does. The French league does it. The German league does it. And I'm pretty sure the Scandinavians do it as well. Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway.
Well, you think if it works for those established ice hockey countries, it could work.
Yeah, but you do seem to see a lot of the same teams yo-yoing up and down. And
one of the examples, just want to bring up, and I might be putting you on the spot here, but there was an NIHL 2 team that recently went up to the NIHL, right? And I think they've been losing games by like quite disastrous scores.
Are you on about the Solway Sharks?
Yes.
Yeah. So they were previously. I did some commentary on them. I went to one of their away games when I was a commentator of the Lions, and they're a great outfit. And again, you see they're struggling, not for the lack of want of trying. They've got a good team behind them, as in like back office and stuff. But they've noticed the jump in difference between playing in one league and moving up to that national league level. A lot of the players, I don't know offhand. So commenters, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But maybe a good handful of players that were there in the days of when they were playing in the Nottingham Lions level and moved up, maybe they're not around as much anymore. Because they've had to make that jump up. They've brought in imports, they've brought in a better level of hockey, and they're trying to compete at that National League level rather than the National League One. But they were absolutely...
What prompted that promotion then? What made them decide?
They were just running away with the league.
League
they were in. They were just head and shoulders above everybody.
Did they send a team down from the league above, or did they just expand it by one team?
They just expanded by one team.
Right. Okay.
As far as I know, I don't think anybody like folded or wasn't around. But then that National League has also brought in an older team recently, has resurged in the Basingstoke Bison. So I think with them coming back and with Solihull going up, it then evens out the numbers again. Unfortunately, because of my job and because of commentating on Storm a lot and watching NHL, I don't have time for many other leagues. So trying to keep up with it all is like there's so much information about head.
It's hard enough. Like we pretty much only do NHL and a bit of EIHL, and even then, it's there's at least 3 or 4 games every night, isn't it? If you're trying to keep, it's a full-time job trying to keep up with everything.
It is a scary proposition then, isn't it, for why, if you offered a team to come up to the IHL, because assumedly they would be on maybe like a 3-year contract to go to that league, and then if they were just tanking, it kind of hurts their stock a little bit maybe.
Well, yeah, and then it's always like humble pie, so you have to go back down again. There's the whole thought process on fans. Like if fans are paying X amount for their ticket at the National League level, and then because of finances, the ticket prices need to go up. Are the fans going to stick around and be happy with that? Like, there's all sorts of metrics and whatever else that go into it. They're going to need an influx of cash. Do they have the backers for that? There's so many variables that I'm okay with the league not expanding, the elite league not expanding, because I'd rather them take their time and do it properly.
Build with what they've already build on what they've already got.
Then rush into it. Like I would much prefer to see the elite league get teams like Manchester, like Fife, like Dundee, the facilities they need to be able to really compete. With
I mean, no disrespect to like Fife and Dundee.
Oh yeah,
but Manchester, like a place like Manchester, is crazy. Like when you look at the facility, we have 2 of the biggest arenas in Europe.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying the Storm should go and play there, because that is, they're not going to sell that out and that. But do you know what I mean? It's a big population. It's a big city. It's a popular, place. A lot of people are moving here now. Into like, you look at the house prices, like the increase in the last 15 years, it's pretty much more than anywhere in the country almost. So like it's there, it's bubbling under the surface. They just need, I suppose it is a gamble, isn't it?
It is.
Let's build a fancy new arena, and if it doesn't work, the club folds pretty much, doesn't it?
You're stuck with it. And that's the thing, a lot of these teams don't own the rinks. Like they're owned by third party companies such as Planet Ice. That's what a lot of rinks are who are owned by. Like they've got their own Coventry, which is Skydome, their own Altrincham, etc. So all the teams are basically just renting the space to put on this product. If each team had their own arena and etc. Like if Manchester doubled in size, we hold about 2,500, 2,200 seated and standing included. If that was to double to 4,000, and the marketing was there to bring people in, and the fan base was there to fill that arena, the money influx into the club would bring in so much more, and it'd feel like a bit more of a level playing field with budgets, etc. So some teams are really working on a shoestring budget. I know Manchester's got a really good one in comparison to a lot of other teams, but it's real difficult, the disparity, because Nottingham's got 6,000 minimum. Sheffield have boasted that they've got 9,000 minimum. And if you've got 9,000 people spending 25 to 35 quid on a ticket compared to 2,000 people spending the same,
over a season,
it's simple maths at the end of the day. It's just a numbers game.
This conversation is going to be even more exciting in 5 years' time.
Oh yeah,
just with NHL coming to ITV, the money that the NHL are putting into street hockey now in the UK.
I mean, just new fans from stuff like Heated Rivalry. I know it sounds silly, but that is bringing so many eyes. It seems like it's just everywhere, isn't
Everyone's
it?
watching Shoresy. That's on ITV. It's great.
It is, and the more that hockey can be in the public eye, the more it's going to bring, the more fans it's going to bring in. It's just, I deny anybody to go to a hockey game and not be excited by it.
Definitely.
Even regular fans that go to every single game. Yeah, there are dull games in their opinion, where not a lot happens, or your team gets blown out, or whatever else. But it only takes one game. And that one person seeing it, that then they're a fan for life. Like, I don't think I've taken anybody to a game who's not gone, or when we going next? When's the next one?
No,
when can I see it again?
A more exciting prospect in general. And I know that because my wife does not like any sports. I'm not saying she likes ice hockey, but she will look up from a phone when I've got it on the telly now and again. So that's the measure. Because if I've got football on, she just couldn't be less interested. But she will kind of pop her head on, ask questions because it's just so quick.
It's electric.
And that's just watching it on TV. If we can get people, can get people in person, they're hooked.
Definitely,
they're hooked for life. Like it happened with me. It happened with so many of my friends. It happened with so many people that I've introduced to the sport. But the best,
100% record for that.
Yeah, as much as as much as I am a commentator on the webcast, and I'd love people to tune in and watch, and it be that's the way that they enjoy it. I'd much prefer people in person watching and enjoying.
Oh, definitely,
the games,
it's a different experience. But while you mentioned there, that's how you got hooked into it. That will segue nicely. We'll talk about the Canucks game now.
Oh, go on.
The two things I always want to ask UK fans. Well, first of all, how did you get into hockey in general?
Yeah.
And two, the second one's a question you probably ask yourself every day. Why the Vancouver Canucks?
I can answer the second half really easily, so I'll save that for after. So I'll answer them in order. So I got into hockey. I was 10 years old, and my best mate, I can narrow it down to one person who got me into ice hockey, and is the reason why I do what I do now. And it's all his fault. His name's Alex Gaich. He played hockey as well, and on the estate that I used to live on, there was a little Twitchell through to his little cul-de-sac. I went through their one.
A little what? Sorry, what do you call that?
Twitchell alleyway.
Okay, this is another one of those Facebook comment bait things, isn't it? Yeah, what do you call it?
A
ginnel. Yeah, ginnel alley.
Depending on what city you're in.
I've never heard Twitchell. Yeah, I've never heard Twitchell, but go on.
But go through there to his little cul-de-sac, and that's it. We became friends. He was playing hockey already. played hockey at a good level as well at juniors. We played on the street. And next thing I know, I'm going down to ice hockey training. Didn't work out for me so much because I was playing with a lot of good hockey players, some players that are still playing now. Robert Lakovich, Tom Norton, James Neal, who used to play for the Manchester Phoenix when they were around. Like some real big names. Robert Farmer, who played for the Panthers for a long time, and Coventry, and a good couple of other teams. Excuse me, they were all in my hockey team. And I was a defender when I was a junior, but because I didn't really get to play that much because those guys were so good, I was stuck on the bench. My dad didn't really like it that much. Said, "Why we're coming down here every week and he's not getting played." Kicked up a bit of fuss with the coach, and I went and played roller hockey instead. And didn't look back. And I enjoyed that so much more. It's a different style of game. It was 4-on-4. But in the under-12s, we won the regional league and then the national championship. And in the under-14s, won the regional league and lost in the final of the national championship. So that's kind of my route into hockey.
Was that in Nottingham?
No, that was in Derby, a place called Derby Storm.
Okay. So yeah. I was playing roller hockey myself.
Oh, okay.
Around here, one of the teams you might have heard of, the Pendlebury Coyotes.
Oh, you tested my memory. This is going back nearly 20 years.
Well, it's only recently they went to, I think in the last few years, they went to a competition in America and won it.
Oh, nice.
On inline. So yeah, they're pretty good. And it's good to know that they're still going. Because I can't imagine a lot of the teams that I played for when I was younger, I don't think they'd still be going.
Well, Well, the reason why I stopped playing roller hockey was because Derby Storm facility shut down. So I would have kept playing into under 16s and maybe into seniors. But yeah, unfortunately had to give it up at 14 due to outside factors, unfortunately. But yeah, me and Alex, we'd watch videos, we watch early days of YouTube, watch highlights and stuff, and watch the films like Mighty Ducks, etc., and then realise that
I think that's quite common.
It's very common.
Yeah.
But there's so many other hockey films. If anybody's not gone and watched and gone through the library, check out Slapshot. There's 3 films. They get progressively different.
That's our plan for the off season, isn't it?
Yeah,
we've got no NHL to talk about.
Yeah.
It's hockey films. Yeah.
One to definitely get on the list is A Sleeper. People don't really know about it. It's got an amazing cast as well. Probably not the highlight of their cast, is of their acting career, but Russell Crowe in Mystery Alaska. Check that one
Mystery
out.
Alaska.
Yeah, I've heard that keeps cropping up on the
list. It's a wicked film. It's only just getting the kind of recognition I think that it deserves.
Yeah, it pops up quite a bit on Facebook now. Like people are reviewing it.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Have you seen Threat Level Midnight?
No, that's a new one for me.
No, man,
no.
It's a bit of trivia I like throwing out to
you
people.
You mentioned that to me last week, and I was like, I've never heard of it.
I'll put you out your misery. It's from an episode of The Office, where Michael is making his own movie.
Oh, right, yeah. Is that it?
It's the ice hockey one. I love asking people that.
Yeah. Apparently he was quite a good ice hockey player in his youth.
Yeah, he can skate, can't he?
I've got Steve Carell. Yeah.
There's so many like celebrity superstars that played ice hockey.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves played in goal. He also played a goalie in Youngblood as like a supporting role.
Is he Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is Keanu Reeves?
Yeah. If you watch any of the Canucks broadcasts, he's doing stuff for Verizon, Rogers or Verizon or something. He's one of the internet providers. He's running about his house doing a Zoom call here and something on this and something like He loves it.
So that brings us on. So why Vancouver? What attracted you to them?
Playing video games for one. Used to play NHL 04, 02, 04, 03.
Yeah.
Loads of them. And just ended up gravitating to Vancouver and the players and then watching highlight videos. And
that does seem to be quite common as well. Like there'll just be a certain team on a video game and there'll be no kind of reason. It's just something drew me to them.
Everything you're saying is kind of like what I went through, literally. So it's so strange having this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky that I got to watch a good handful of like highlight videos and stuff. One of the earliest memories I have is watching a guy called Pavel Bure. and his highlights and stuff. He was called the Russian Rocket. He only stuck around in Vancouver for a couple of years. He's one of the reasons why I wear the number that I wear when I play. And for me, he was kind of the first time I went, wow, that's a hockey player. And he was just, if anybody wants to search him up, Pavel Bure, he was just ridiculous. So quick, so fast, and so skilled. Unfortunately, he went off to play to Florida when the Panthers were around, when the Panthers snapped him up in a trade, I think it was, or free agency. And then after that, still continued to watch Vancouver. Naslund, the Sedins, Bieksa, Sami Salo, Matthias Oland, Luongo. The list goes on and on and on. And I'm lucky enough that, I say lucky enough, I got myself a job working ridiculous hours where I was doing delivery driving, and my shift would start at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And when Canucks games are on at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm out in my van. I've got the radio on. I'm listening to Sportsnet.
Nice. What are you delivering at that time of night?
Flowers.
I suppose to shops or ready
shops,
for the morning, right? Okay,
around.
So you're a diehard.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. So,
it was Marcus Naslund that made me fall in love with hockey.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I still pull up his highlights every now.
What era are we talking here? Is this?
Oh man, from the early 2000s, but late 90s.
Yeah, late like 99 to like 2008, 2010.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, around by because then the Sedins came in, and Naslund was kind of on the way out as they were the next wave in of influx of teams. Yeah, and then I suffered through the 2010-2011 playoff series with Boston. I stayed up and watched every game and watched them win it in our own barn. So the fact that you've come out, Andy, and said that you're a Boston fan, that's the knife that goes just a little bit deeper.
This is what's funny is like I knew that was the last time Boston won the Stanley Cup. I only watched it the other day and realized, oh, hang on, he was against Vancouver. I just had no idea. It's like just to put that knife in deep and just blissfully.
I thought I mentioned it on one of the episodes, I thought you'd.
I think you mentioned like a few of your most hated teams, and they were on the list. I don't think you specified. Yeah, I'm not. I can't sit here and fucking gloat. I wasn't even aware of like ice hockey at the time. So like, I've got like, I have a lot of love for Vancouver. They give us a lot to talk about, don't they? Like,
I was thinking about this earlier. So, like, my big hang-up about that Game 7 game was just the fact that they bullied us in our own barn.
Yeah.
And they just put their will. Because there was a clip just before the game started, and one of the Boston players...
Sorry, what was the series result then? So at that point, was it...
It would have been 4-3. It would have been Game 7.
It was Game 7.
So this was Game 7, so it did go down to Game 7.
Right down to the wire.
Yeah.
And... one of their players crossed into our area and took a shot on Luongo, and none of our players backed him. No one started a fight, anything like that.
And
it was
just the whistle or something.
No, just before the game, like in warm-up.
Oh, jeez. I missed that.
Yeah, okay. I'll try and find the clip, and if we can, we can post it.
Yeah.
And even the commentators were saying, I can't believe, Kessler, crazy, none of the guys went and, grabbed him.
Wow.
So that's a bit of a
that kind of set the tone. It sets the tone, doesn't it? Especially before the game.
But if any neutral hockey fans, go back and watch that hockey series, and especially if you like goalies, because that is a real goaltender battle. Tim Thomas versus Roberto Luongo, excuse me. Go watch that, because those two netminders. Luongo's already had his jersey retired and is in the Hall of Fame. Tim Thomas is probably there as well now. If not, he's going to be there soon. Go check those two goalies out, because that's cool hockey history.
What is your most iconic moment as a Vancouver fan? And then I'll tell you mine.
Oh, gosh. Anytime the Sedins were on the ice and their wizardry, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Down to a single moment, I think there was... Bieksa's goal. It's just coming to my head. I think it was against the Sharks. I could be wrong here, but the puck gets rimmed around the boards, and it takes an odd bounce off a stanchion, off the bit between the glass, and takes an odd bounce, and nobody sees the puck. Everyone's searching around for it, and Bieksa's the only guy that sees it. And he's at the blue line, and he just hammers it as hard as he can, and finds a bit of the net that's empty and scores the goal. I think it wins the game. That's one that sticks out in my mind. Yeah.
I think, are you I think, was that against the Blackhawks in Game 7? Was it Alex Burrows? Is that the goal you're referencing?
I know the one you're on about is like the commentator goes, they've slain the dragon. Yeah.
Because
we could never beat the Blackhawks and get through the next.
It's like 3 playoff series straight, wasn't it? That eliminated us.
So what was yours then?
No, that was it. The Burrows, just the pure emotion.
Yeah.
If I'm looking to get hyped up, I'll put that clip on sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just, man, it almost brings a tear to my eye. It really
recently,
does.
the Nashville series, when we were in the playoffs last year, was it last year or year before? It was year before. That playoff series with Nashville, and I think the comeback from 3-0 down, and to win, I think either win it in overtime or win it just before overtime and get a handful of goals in like the last minute. That was electric. I go out and listen to that on the radio, and if anybody's not listened to hockey on the radio, give it a go, because it's really good.
Okay.
It's a different style of commentary.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know what station to get that on. I wouldn't.
Because sometimes, obviously, because we've got so much to catch up on, it would help during the day. I could stick it on in the car.
I think you can only listen. Yeah, I think you can only listen to it live because it's live radio broadcast.
Right, yeah, it's not
if you've got the NHL app on your phone, you can go to scores, and then there's a listen button. I'll try and send you a screenshot later.
I think I've said. Now you say it rings a bell. Yeah.
Well, before we get into this game, I just got one more question to ask you. When you watch Vancouver now, do you watch with hope or trauma?
Or just apathy and just think, just whatever happens. Just let it wash over me.
I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting. At this point, I'm just kind of waiting for next season. I thought Kiefer Sherwood was going to stick around, and they trade him out of town. This Boom guy, he's good, but I need to see more of him. I just need to see more from the organization. The last couple of seasons, I've been so locked in on games and trying to watch and whatever else. I do quite well to stay off of social media to avoid spoilers, etc. So I can watch the games whilst I'm at work or put it on the TV or whatever. But it's just not hitting the hockey buzz right now. It's difficult. It really is. And I know that teams go through it left, right, and centre, but when it's the team saying over and over again, like, "Oh, we're rebuilding, we're just retooling, we're just going," just kicking the can down the road. Like, have a clear out. There's something that's gone wrong. Admit it. Put your hands up and do what other teams do. Because for a long time, but I'd rather the Canucks be bad than be middle of the road. Because for a long number of years, the Minnesota Wild were not good enough to make the playoffs, but not bad enough to get a good draft pick. And they just stuck in that perpetual cycle of like middle of the road team that people go, "Oh yeah, the Minnesota Wild are in the NHL." I don't want Vancouver to turn into that team. If it means 3 seasons of struggling hockey, fair play, and we'll take our.
Would you say on that though that what they've done this season in terms of the trade, trading Quinn Hughes, trading Kiefer Sherwood, are they finally kind of admitting it now that we are right? We're going to actually do a proper rebuild now. We're not going to kind of kid ourselves where we pretend we only need to tweak this and tweak that.
I think I believe them this time.
It feels like that's their big losses, aren't they? Like in terms of like your players, like Quinn Hughes, just him on his own.
Yeah, exactly. With such a name, but then you just can't. At some point, the player's got to turn around and go, "This is not for me," and not waste their career and go and try and win something. Yeah. Like who was it, Marchand? Like he knew that the Boston Bruins knew that they were going to be average at best for the next handful of seasons. So they traded an asset that they had to get something good for the team, and he's had a chance to go off and win something. And he has done.
It's good business, isn't it? Because you're thinking like, even though the quality that they have is obviously great, we know it's not going to get us to a Stanley Cup final. So we might as well get something from it. Maybe if we take the hit for a couple of years, but we're going to get good draft picks or some strengthen a position we need more.
Yeah.
I'm because obviously I'm very new to this.
Hey,
I'm
right,
talking
yeah,
absolute
you're
shit.
totally
But
right, and it's the same for the team. They might as well get something for an asset that they have, and it's awful saying asset instead of player, but that's the business terms, unfortunately. And they are the players are assets. They are they hold value, and their value goes up or down. That's where you hear like their trade stock goes up. Like Kiefer Sherwood probably wouldn't have got what they got for him without him playing the way that he had. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame because he wanted to be part of the solution and not part of part of the problem, and wanted to stick around. But then, is it better for the team that they got something rather than just letting him go in free agency? So yeah.
The future looks so exciting and bright for the Canucks, in my opinion. But I do feel that there are still a couple in the team that, personally, I feel we could maybe do without.
Yeah.
Name names.
And I think that. So I'm just going to say, Pettersson. I think we've tried, and I think he deserves the opportunity as well to flourish for another team. It's just not going to work with us. And
what a save, though! Did you see this?
So this is the thing. I think he doesn't care, and then he does something like that. He sticks himself in net, and then you're like, mate, I'm not sure I'd do that. Like,
no protection.
Well, he's played goalie like when he was a kid, and there's a couple of videos of him online. You heard the two guys. They dress in a cowboy hat. I can't remember the flipping names. Ollie Postonin and Jacob Bardown. The name of the kind of their double act name I completely forgot off the top of my head. But they had him on one of their videos, and he goes in goal, and he's put full goalie gear on, and he can play in net. He's a pretty handy netminder.
Yeah, he did look like he had them.
Yeah,
kind
he
of
knew exactly what he was doing. He put the pads down, he dropped to his knees, etc., and made the save.
Yeah. Well, if we get onto this game, then I don't think they looked. I mean, what were you, three down at one point
in the first?
Yeah. It looked like there was something there, like to come back and almost kind of drag something out. It's very rare, like you score 4 goals at home and still lose the game. Yeah. Sometimes it is just the hockey gods are against you, aren't they? But like, how much of it is just silly fucking decision making and just I don't know. Obviously, you two are Canucks fans and longer hockey fans than me. Like just on that game today. Sorry, it was Friday night overnight, wasn't
Friday
it?
Night,
like,
Saturday morning.
What do they need to do to kind of just take them to that next level where they're not losing games they could possibly win?
I'll let you say this one, Max.
Not putting themselves in a hole three goals down before they start scoring.
That helps,
I don't mind them coming back in games where they're like down 1 goal or they tie it up at 1, go down 2-1. I don't mind them playing from behind.
I think they are actually, in terms of comeback points earned from down by 2 goals or something like that. You are in like the top 5 or top 6, something like that. But that sounds great on one hand, but on the other,
it's not economical.
It says that you are down by 2 goals quite a lot.
I think it was 10 out of the last 12 games, the Vancouver Canucks given up the first goal in the game. It was a stat that I heard one of the commentators say. And if you're playing from behind all that time, it just wears you out because you're always chasing. You're always pushing to try and do more, which leaves you vulnerable to breaks up the ice. And there was a breakaway late in the game that I know Lankinen saved. There's so many odd man rushes where players are jumping up into the play from defense or trying to do more than what their role really pertains to, that leaves weak areas elsewhere, and other teams just turn and burn and they're like head up ice on odd man rushes and 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s, breakaways. And that's what that feels to me like what's killing it. The simple stuff. There was a Brock Besser's goal late in the game, where there's a shot from the point, a rebound in front, and Besser's just there on the doorstep and just slams it home. Like that's the simple stuff that Canucks just need to do right now to win hockey games. But if they start winning hockey games, I'm not saying they should lose them on purpose, but if they start winning hockey games,
yeah. I think your team.
Yeah,
tank,
exactly.
You?
It's like,
if we start winning games, I don't know how I feel. To be honest,
we're team Gavin McKenna, and we want to pick him first overall.
Yeah. Who's that? Is he the?
He's going to go in the first draft.
Right. Okay.
He's top 3 of the junior players
Right.
that are out there to get drafted. There's no guarantee that he goes first, because whoever picks first obviously has got an agenda. They might need a forward, they might need a defender, they might need a goalie. So depending on what they want and who they see go.
Yeah. Sorry to go off subject. Does a goalie ever go first in the draft?
Yeah, Fleury went first, right?
Is that quite common?
That would have to be an elite prospects look. I'm not too au fait with the draft until it's actually happening, and then trying to keep memory is somebody. But
I think I know that for a fact. Marc-Andre Fleury went first in the draft. I think that was like
goalies tend to go later on, like 4th, 5th, 6th round. Like Henrik Lundqvist, one of the best goalies to ever play the game, went in the 7th round. So you can pick. You can pick up.
Sometimes these things happen. Like, I think. Well, I'm pretty sure. I know, completely different sport. I'm pretty sure like Tom Brady went 2nd or 3rd round. Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Yeah. Sometimes these things work out. Like sometimes your first pick doesn't. It's whether they can make it to that
Alexander
level.
Boris was undrafted. He didn't get drafted by a team. And he grinded his way through the ECHL, AHL, and then got picked up by an AHL team.
Yeah. Right. So if is that generally what happens if you go undrafted? Then you are free to sign with any ECHL team, or you
still can make the league.
Yeah, you don't have to, But I mean, I don't know what you'd have to do. You can't just go back to college. Do another course.
You'll find a league. You'll find a league somewhere to play. If you're on that draft board, especially. But if you're undrafted, then that's it. But for some players, that lucratively, money wise, that works out better, because those that are drafted get and play in the NHL get their entry level contract. It's no more than $1 million, $1 million, excuse me, and it's for 3 years. So you know what you're going to be making for 3 years, and you're signed into that contract.
Yeah. They must be starving.
I was going to say, how did they get by?
You got to potentially pay housing, rent a car, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they'd get comped at, though. No, you don't think?
Different teams, different situations. Right.
Yeah, we come back to the whole tax thing. Though. Like we said, with the Canadian teams, the tax is like sky high, and
especially in the Canadian market as well. Tax is way higher. Yeah, so it's look at the draft, isn't it? But coming back then. So where did he go from here then? Because if you're in charge, like let's say you write this season off, and let's say you do get a good draft pick, like I feel like it's going to take a few more steps than that to put you in playoff contention. Like what who are you looking to trade, or what are you looking to trade for, should I say? Just draft picks, would that be where to go?
Getting good players in the draft would be like they don't want to be trading any more future draft picks away. So 2027, 2028, like untouchable. We need our draft picks, and we need to bring in draft picks from other teams that are going to be doing similar, if not worse, than us.
I'd say like I said, I think that's the opposite. You want draft picks, because I think trading away draft picks would be probably better for, a team who maybe like the Wild, who are not quite as good as like the Avalanche or the Stars. They just need that last little thing to get them to that level.
Exactly.
Whereas like if you trade your draft picks away and you get an absolute superstar in, it might take you a bit better, but you're still not in playoff contention.
I think the Wild are going all in the next 2 years, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but like if we were to trade away Pettersson right now, he's had two bad seasons back to back. His value to another perceived value from another team isn't that high. He's not a 40 goal scorer. He's not he's not a 100-point player, whatever. He's not a fully developed NHL star, and he's had a couple of bad seasons. So the return on him right now isn't going to be that great. He needs to play well, like a Kiefer Sherwood, for a good handful of months or a season, for it to be worth the Vancouver Canucks' time to trade him away for somebody or something worth their time getting back, because and they've again, it's investing in the players that they've got, and they've got drafted. So take a look at their AHL team. They won the Calder Cup last year. A good handful of players, unfortunately, didn't stick around, but the ones that have stuck around are those that are going to make the step up next season or the season after.
Yeah, I think the next move for Pettersson is we're going to probably end up retaining some of his salary as well. It's like a Ekman Larsson situation, because what was it, 2 years ago we gave him that massive new contract just to stop him from going, and again it's turned out to be a bad business move.
Yeah, it's tough times, but the other side of the storm, there will be there'll be brighter days, hopefully, as
cycles.
Exactly.
That's what we love to talk about on this podcast.
It is just cycles.
Yeah. I mean, I bring it up every week, don't I? Like, it's just because this is a whole new world for me. Like, I love that part of it with hockey. Like, you don't really get that upset about a bad side, because literally it could change season by season.
Every season could be your year.
Football is there's pretty much a status quo, isn't it? Through most decades, like Liverpool in the 80s, United in the 90s, and then City the 2010s. It's you've got to really wait it out. Yeah. Whereas this, like, it's what I really love about it.
Coyotes could win next year.
Well, they come back.
Hockey is just one of those games where, as much skill as it takes to play the game can be decided on just the luck of a bounce. It can be one. It goes off of somebody's leg, off a skate, off a stick, or whatever else, and goes in your net, and that's the one goal that decides it. And you might have been the best team for 59 minutes, but that 1 minute that you're not better than the other team is the downfall. How many times, Steve, you watched an NHL playoff game won because of goalie? A goalie stolen that series or stolen that game, which went to somebody else. Common. Yeah, the reason why the St. Louis Blues won their Stanley Cup, Jordan Binnington came out of nowhere, absolutely stormed the league, stormed the playoffs. They go home with the cup. The Vancouver Canucks have been undone so many times after being the number 1 seed in the playoffs and being beaten by the 8th seed. That 8th seed in the West then goes on to win the cup, LA Kings, from memory. They were meant to do nothing in the playoffs, meant to just roll over and let Vancouver move on to the next stage. They didn't. It's such a, and that's what makes it exciting. You can go into a hockey game and go, you know what, anything could happen. Either team could win this game, and it's only getting more and more competitive and more. I don't want to say balance, but there's
I think competitive is the right word.
There's a specific word I've heard people use. I tried to pick it out of my brain, but it's not working. This early morning probably wasn't the best. Probably wasn't the best shout. Probably should have done this at midnight.
Yeah. No, don't worry.
Not for us, mate.
No, mate. I definitely not. I think on that note, then that's a perfect place to leave it. It's such a like you said, competitive sport. Things can change from one season to the next. So like if you're new to ice hockey, or you want to get your friends into it, just drag them down to a local game, or and then watch the NHL on the telly. Just show them what they're missing. Yeah.
Max, just before we let you go, I got one question that I really want to ask you, and I was going to ask you, what if you could commentate any game in the NHL, what would it be? And I have a feeling you'd probably say a Vancouver game. So what I'm going to ask you is, which rivalry would you love to commentate?
First one that comes to mind, because I don't really see that many rivalry games. I feel like it's just media that hypes it up, because everybody knows everybody now. And there's no kind of like, it's not like back in the 90s and the noughties where people genuinely hated each other. They all grow up playing juniors together, and they know each other since they were knee high to a grasshopper playing hockey. But the Battle of Alberta is just an absolute Calgary versus Edmonton. That game always has needle and edge to it. New York versus New Jersey would be another good one. A good one to do for rivalries and stuff. If you haven't seen the Line Brawl, go and check that out. Vancouver versus Calgary games have been pretty heated as well. There's another Line Brawl in that one.
Yeah.
And a player that came over to play for the not for the Manchester Storm, for the Nottingham Panthers, in Brian McGrattan, played in that game. And that spilled over into the locker rooms as well, as one of the coaches went after each other in the backroom stuff, and the players had to get in between. There's video of it. There's video of Brian McGrattan holding back two coaches. It was John Tortorella for the Canucks. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, I can't remember who it was on the Calgary side. But yeah, that was a good game. They put both their fourth lines out. They knew exactly what was going on. I think Bieksa took the face off to go against somebody else.
I love that. I really thought you were going to go Canadians and Bruins, actually, but that's quite refreshing. The one that you came up with.
I'm not really a massive Habs fan. I respect all the history and whatever, and whatever goes with it, and obviously won their cups in the years that they won them, but they just kind of, unfortunately, the Canadians just passed me by. It's really strange. It's just one of them teams, and I was like, oh yeah, they play in this league too. But I'm so focused on the West. A lot of the East just gets lost on me.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us. You're off to the game today, aren't you?
Storm versus the Giants. So Belfast are in town.
Giants.
I believe that Belfast Giants won their game last night. Storm, unfortunately, lost to the hands of the Steelers 5-2.
Yeah, it was back to reality after that double over Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, Steelers very rarely lose 2 games in a row. I have to do some real digging to go back and find the last time they did that. But yeah, Belfast Giants are in town, and warm the voice up and listen to some commentary to get me going, and do my pre-game routine and all sorts of stuff, and get my notes ready, etc., and go live on the webcast.
Yeah, good stuff. Brilliant. Well, like I said, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure we'll speak to you again when we're down at the Storm. Good luck, Storm. See you later.
Later, man.
Bye-bye. Welcome back. So that was Max there from the Manchester Storm. Very knowledgeable, knows his stuff. Ultra. Yeah. Next week, we've got a game in mind already, haven't we? It's the Stadium Series.
Your boys.
Again, in Florida. They love playing these outdoor games in Florida.
Let's hope the setup is a little bit more hockey authentic.
Exactly. Well, it ties in well for this, because obviously it's a novelty I haven't seen before, Stadium Series, and it's my team as well. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. That will be... It should be, it's Sunday night, isn't it? It'll be Sunday night, so we'll record on Monday. Hopefully we'll get it out in time for Tuesday. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I've been Andy the Rookie.
I'm Steve. Have a great weekend.
See you later.